The fuel subsidy is gone.
On Inauguration Day, Bola Tinubu unceremoniously announced that the Nigerian oil subsidy, which we all agree is fraudulent, is gone. The after effect of that was the scarcity of petroleum products and the consequent skyrocketing of prices of goods and services. When he was confronted with the catastrophic error in making that announcement, as he did, he said, "Oh no, I have a plan. We are planning palliative for Nigerians to reduce the effect of the subsidy removal." Those of us in the know understood that it is going to be another APC deception and we warned Nigerians about it. I said as much in one of my videos. The Nigerian Labour Congress was supposed to go on strike, but they suspended it because Bola Tinubu and the APC convinced them that they have a plan. Well, now we know the plan that Bola Tinubu and his government have put in place to help Nigerians suffering from the effect of fuel subsidy removal. Here is the plan. Wait for it. They will give monthly stipend of 8,000 naira to some Nigerian families. According to reports, on Thursday, Tinubu secured approval of the Senate to borrow $800 million to provide 8,000 naira monthly palliative to 12 million low-income families for a period of 6 months. If you have a discerning mind and you understand the way Nigeria works, I do not need to say anything else. You would have seen the problems surrounding this initiative. Nevertheless, for the sake of analysis, let me list some of the possible problems we are going to experience. Number 1, lack of transparency. The first question is, how will this be monitored? You might be wondering why this question is relevant. Well, it is because APC has, in the past, shown that they cannot be trusted with the implementation of an initiative like this. You remember the school feeding program launched by the former President Buhari? What about the Trader Money Initiative? As it happened, that government claimed they spent billions of naira to feed school children. But until now, there is no proper accounting of how those children were selected or even what their identity are. According to the Guardian newspaper, the government said they spent about 12 billion monthly on, as they called it, the National Homegrown School Feeding Program. If you truly spend that much money to feed school children monthly, we should see the impact across the country, shouldn't we? Yet, I have not met one person that knows a child who benefited from that scheme. Do you know of any? Let me know in the comment section if you do. Look, I'm not saying that some children were not provided with some food at some point in some school, but is it anywhere close to the amount they claim to have spent? The answer, according to experts who looked at this, not me, is no. The problem is, how do we prove it? We cannot, because the data is shrouded in secrecy. It is a perfect scam. It seems that Bola Tinubu has learned from his predecessor and has come up with a similar scheme again. According to Bola Tinubu, in the new plan, they said in order to guarantee the credibility of the process, digital transfers will be made directly to beneficiaries' accounts and mobile wallets. But how do we know who these accounts belong to? Will the names be published every month? Even if they are, how do we really know that the names actually belong to who they say it belonged to? Is it not in Nigeria, where a president who is clearly a man allegedly used academic certificates belonging to a woman to become president? Please. Number 2, the paltry sum. Let's assume for the sake of analysis that these 12 million families will actually receive this money. How much purchasing power does 8,000 naira have in Nigeria today? Let's use a household of 4 people, 2 parents and 2 children as an example. Will 8,000 naira be enough to buy what they need for a pot of soup that will last more than 3 days? I know people will say, oh well, it's free money. But compare that to the effect of fuel subsidy, which has resulted in 50 to 100% increase in the prices of food ingredients and other commodities that these families have been forced to face. The money is not free. The money is like a drop in the ocean compared to what people are going through in the hands of this government. So now let's get to what the opposition are saying. The Special Assistant for Communication, I believe, for Atiku Abubakar, Frank Shaibu, said it better. He said, according to statistics, a Nigerian household of 2019 counted an average of 5.06 members. So, with Tinubu's plan, each individual in a household will get 1,600 naira per month or 53 naira per day. What should they do with it? Use the money to buy a sachet of pure water or a cup of boiled groundnut on a daily basis? Look, I'm tempted to take on Mr. Shaibu for not querying his principle for the 16 years of failed PDP rule in Nigeria. But that would be tantamount to an ad hominem attack. That is, attacking the person instead of dealing with what they said. In this case, Atiku and his aide are spot on. This to me seems like a vote-buying scheme at the very least. It adds up to the argument that Bola Tinubu and the APC are already planning for a rerun of the presidential election. So they're giving out whatever they think the people will fall for. Honestly, to me, it doesn't really matter. This is Nigeria's money and it doesn't belong to Bola Tinubu. Take whatever you can from the government and vote for who you want to vote for. That is my position on this. However, my problem is that this money is not meaningful enough. It will buy nothing. It's like a drop of spittle in an ocean of water. It means nothing to people. However, having said that, I know a lot of people will say, oh, you guys always complain. You're always complaining about the new government. I agree. It is not enough to question and criticize government all the time. It is also helpful to offer alternative solutions if they listen. So let me offer mine. For this scheme to be meaningful in any way, the government should do the following. Number one, crack down on the continued illegal smuggling of fuel to neighboring countries. Given recent reports, it is clear that this scam is still going on. If the government puts an end to smuggling of fuel, the surplus fuel in the Nigerian market will reduce the price of the product. Consequently, prices of other products will go down as well. Number two, sure, monetary palliative is a great idea, but 8,000 naira to a family is an insult. For such palliative to make any sense, it should be nothing less than 20,000 naira a month for no less than 1 year. Don't tell me there is no money. If they can find billions of naira to pay legislators, they can find the money to support starving Nigerians. And most importantly, the money should be distributed in a way that all Nigerians can monitor and follow. The list of recipients of the money should be a matter of public and verifiable record after the end of 6 months. Not before then, because I don't want families to be targeted because of 8,000 naira. Number three, increase workers' salary. The Nigerian Labour Congress is asking for a wage increase of 100,000 naira. I agree with that, but only for a start. Think about this for a second. 100,000 naira is less than $150. How the heck does anyone work and survive for 1 month with anything less than 100,000 naira in Nigeria? It's incredible. The things that Nigerians tolerate and put up with cannot be tolerated and put up with anywhere else in the world. We are truly an amazing and patient people. Number four, lastly, and this I believe is most important, perhaps Bola Tinubu should just concede that he stole the election and go home. If he does, then we can let the man who wants to transform the country from a consumption economy to a production economy take over and lead us to a Nigeria that we all deserve. Because in all honesty, as long as we keep relying on borrowing, buying from abroad, and simply consuming, Nigeria will remain on its knees. No amount of palliative will save us. Well, that's all I have for you guys. Thanks for being here. I'll see you in another video. Bye.